The Human Rights Council has recently finished its 20th session, and despite the agenda being much lighter than previous sessions, the results are surprisingly positive. The Council has discussed and decided on a number of new country-specific situations. In particular, we've seen a joint statement by a large group of states on Bahrain, which was led by Switzerland and presented under item 4. For a long time it looked like it would be presented under item 10, but then the signal sent to Bahrain was much stronger by the statement being discussed under item 4. In addition to the joint statement on Bahrain, the Human Rights Council has also adopted 2 resolutions setting up country-specific special procedures, which is the first time in its history that it has created 2 new mandates in one session. The new mandates on Belarus and on Eritrea are clear signals that there's a larger willingness in the Human Rights Council to actually set up monitoring mechanisms that can follow a human rights situation on the ground. Unfortunately, the mandate on Belarus was adopted by a vote with 5 negative votes of China, Russia, Cuba, Ecuador and India. But that being said, it had significant support from all other regions, including the Philippines, which usually do not support country-specific mandates. In contrast, the mandate on Eritrea was adopted by consensus in the Human Rights Council, and the resolution is fairly strong. It's a substantive resolution and it gives a large mandate to the rapporteur. We've seen an increasingly diversified leadership in the consideration of country situations. The cross-regional joint statement led by Switzerland on Bahrain is a case in point, but also the leadership by the African group on resolutions on Côte d'Ivoire and on Mali, the latter also being a new country situation considered by the Council. A group of African states have also led the resolution on Eritrea, which is also a very positive new development. A further positive development was a joint statement which was led by the Maldives, but was delivered on behalf of a cross-regional group of states from all regions, who pledged to be guided by the views of independent voices such as the Secretary General, the High Commissioner and Special Procedures when considering to initiate country action at the Human Rights Council. This was a call made by NGOs and states during the review of the Human Rights Council, but which wasn't able to garner consensus, and it's a very positive sign that some states have now taken it upon themselves to voluntarily pledge to use those pieces of information and those actors as a source of initiating country action. A continuing weakness of the Human Rights Council in considering country situations is the quality of resolutions and discussions. In particular, the resolution on Mali lacks balance because it only looks at the situation in the north of the country and doesn't consider all of the human rights violations committed by all actors. Similarly, the discussions on Syria and the resolution taken lack in terms of the contribution that the Human Rights Council could have made to the overall response by the international community to the situation. The resolution does not go beyond the resolution adopted at the special session on the massacre in El Hule a couple of months ago, and it does not call for ICC referral.